all men do this or all women do that. I think that's really what it boils down to. I think, we're really, taking something that was, I think it's a small issue, but it's amplified, and now it's an argument as opposed to a discussion.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys feel like there's anything pushing the narrative of a groupthink?
I feel like social media is set up in that way.
What's up, y'all? It's FleekSauce. I got some dope guests here today. We're going to have a great conversation about Black love and male and female dynamics. Oh, yeah, we about to get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and push it over to that side and have them introduce themselves. We're going to start with my left side here.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Phree the Truth, a.k.a. Auntie Phree in the community. And, I'm always starting a ruckus.
Okay. What do you mean, my ruckus?
And I'm Jermaine LaFate. You may know me as a social media antagonist or philosopher, whatever you choose to call me. Just, talk to me nice. That's it.
Okay. That's what's up. He said he's on the internet cutting up. That's what's up. So you guys are doing an event.
Yeah.
And so I want to know why you're doing that event. What is the purpose? What's the goal?
What initially put the thought in my mind was because it's a question that people always ask me. And through having these discussions that I have on social media, which is usually around some sort of relationship dynamic, I said, why not make this an event? And it just kind of took off from there, and it just made sense. And here I am. We're about to do this, and I still don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm doing this event, and I still don't know what to expect. So that's kind of exciting because it's something that I haven't really done before. Of course I've had events before, but not like this. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
What made you want to join this?
I've known Phree for about 6 or 7 years now, and typically when she's involved in something, it's done correctly. And, I have been a fan of hers for quite some time in social media and just her activism in the community and what she does, her approach. And, when she first originally asked me, she just said, hey, listen, I have a panel of men that I'd like to have a conversation about different topics. And I said, yeah, sure. Come on, and then I saw the title, This Is Why I'm Single. And I was like, okay. I think I just stepped into some shit. But nevertheless, I'm very big on psychology and philosophy and sociology, just the study of people, the study of how people relate with one another, how they engage. And, that tends to be a big topic on social media, this male-female dynamic and how we intertwine and, what we relate to. And, those are things that interest me because I feel like the divide is something that can be remedied through communication. And through that, I think, you want to seek to be understood so that you can understand as well from someone else's perspective, or seek understanding so that, you can understand someone else.
Yeah.
That's basically the goal in this, right, is to get a view from the male point of view with regards to some of our experiences and what we faced in the dating market. And some of us are married, some of us are single, some of us are dating, some of us are not, but all of us have experience in that world and just want to share our experience and be able to kind of bridge the gap a little.
That's beautiful, and the work has to get done. You got to get out in the community, talk to people, and build on the ground, feet on the ground. My next question, because I'm always in a little bit in the conspiracy world, but I like to keep my feet playing it in reality. So do you feel like this division or this conversation between black women and black men specifically is an issue in our community that we've created, or is this an issue that was maybe some type of some programming? How do you feel like this issue happened, and or is there an issue at all for you? Because I've heard also arguments where people say, yeah, these things are what they've always been. So what are your opinions on the conspiracy idea of it? Is there any Tyrones out there being cloned? And it's, you know what I mean?
Do you mind if I take this one to start off with?
Go ahead.
Social media amplifies small issues, right? And so I'm not considering this per se a small issue, but I think that it's been amplified based off of voices that have opinions. And then when they go viral, everybody has an opinion to that opinion. And so what ends up happening is this small little thing has started to roll downhill, and you keep seeing the algorithm bring you back to male versus female dynamic. And, I think that there's thriving relationships out there between, men and women. And, they don't get showcased enough because there's a lot of people out there who really voice their displeasure for the dating market and that sort of thing. And you'll hear terms like, well, the dating pool has pee in it. And, there's no good men out there. There's no good women out there. And it just starts to bubble into something much bigger where the conversation just kind of spreads out. And I think ultimately what we need to really do is separate social media from actual reality. Because I don't think that the bravery that some people have online is what you see in person when you sit down and really have a conversation with them and peel back the layers of who they are and what they experience. You still hear a lot of talking points. You hear a lot of people reading from scripts, essentially.
Straw man.
As opposed to like, what do you really feel? Like, let's really break down what your true experience is. And this is based on trauma. Is this based on something that you've experienced in your childhood and you just have a paradigm that's based in just your anecdotal experiences and you're spreading that out and saying all men do this or all women do that? I think that's really what it boils down to. I think, we're really, taking something that was, it's a small issue, but it's amplified and now it's an argument as opposed to a discussion.
Do you guys feel like there's anything pushing the narrative of a groupthink?
I feel like social media is set up in that way. Like, I purposely go outside of my page to go follow pages that are not like in alignment with like my thought process because I like to be challenged.
Get that full view.
I like to be challenged, and I know that I can't be right every time. That's just, I don't know. That's just the natural process. Like, I can't be right every time.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's always going to be somebody else who know more than me. Period. As much as I read, as much as things that I know and, experience for self, I feel there's going to be somebody else who knows more. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm always open to that, but other people don't do that to themselves. They don't open themselves to opposition. And they want to stay in their, like I was talking about earlier, echo chambers.
Yeah.
Everybody who thinks like me and agrees with me. And so I feel like people tend to trap themselves in that type of think tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to stand on your own and to think for yourself and to speak for yourself. A lot of people like to latch on to an ideology or latch on to a popular theme and be in the same group so that they can find acceptance. So I do think there's some group things associated with it. And until people decide to step away from that and to not feed into the programming, right, but actually think for themselves and speak for themselves, you're just going to find a lot of fence sitters or people who just want to go along to get along, right? There's also some cognitive bias things that are going on where people are looking for the same beliefs and the same philosophies that they have. They're going to jump to that immediately and latch on because that's a safe space for them, whereas they don't have to be challenged, whereas they don't have to, think about, another side or another paradigm or another experience. It's something that's, they want, for example, if they were to say something along the lines of, all men are dogs or whatever the case may be. And, you'll find a group of women who agree with that.
Yeah.
As opposed to a different experience where women have found long-lasting love and great relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it boils down to is really the things that you say out of your mouth create the world that is in front of you. And it's very important to change your whole scope if you're going to accept a different reality.
Yeah, we'll give y'all a pause for that and put it down, right?
Yeah, and how do you place that on deeper and like throw that statement out all? It's like it just speaks very much of you. Like you've picked nothing but dogs to date. That you've picked this same
Where's your
type
accountability?
Right, like you've picked this same type of man to date over and over and over and over again, so much so that you believe that all men are like that. Yeah. Are we really taking a moment to process what we're saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And, so I want to get into you guys' relationship statuses. You guys don't mind talking about that. But I will say this. So for me, I've been in a relationship for almost 20 years. So I've seen the market from an outside perspective change. I'm like, what is a city girl? Where did that come from? And that kind of looks like what that was back in the day, but it's a new thing there. Yeah. And so I guess what I'm saying is like the mentalities of people's have changed. It feels like maybe there's been a different personality type that's emerged. That's kind of like, I don't really need a man. If a man needs me, I got my own money. So I'm going to act like a ninja. I'm going to be a ninja. You know what I'm saying? And they go out and they try dating, and then you might go on a date with them. I hear my friends talk about their dates with them. I'm like, whoa, that is a wild experience. I'd like to hear what you guys feel about the dating culture today and your personal experiences.
Well, Fleek, first of all, let me say congratulations to you, and for 20 years of your relationship.
It's been hard,
right?
So hard. We got an argument on the way here. No, it's fine.
What I will say is, stay in the safety and the confines of your relationship because it's a jungle out here.
Oh, okay.
I'm single, and I was recently married, divorced. Was in another relationship that ended. So I've had a lot of experience over the last couple of years of just, relationship dynamic and really pushing myself to try to get a better understanding of the women that were in my life, right? Or the women that potentially would be in my life in the future. And so, there's a narrative out there that relationships are hard and or just dating market in general is hard. But I just don't understand why people think it's supposed to be easy. Like the philosophy behind the fact that dating is supposed to be successful as opposed to a vetting strategy for you to find your lifetime partner, probably one of the more serious and hardest decisions that you'll possibly make. Yeah, there's supposed to be a little bit of churn there, and there's supposed to be a little bit of challenge there because you're really trying to connect two worlds and two realities together. Right. It's a very serious thing. So when you talk about dating sucks, because you're supposed to be trying to learn a completely different person with a different experience than you, who's grown up a different way than you, and trying to find out if you're equally yoked. And that's not something small, right? That's a challenge, and it's a task. So we need to change the way that we think about dating in general. Because if we were to just think that we're supposed to just find this Cinderella story or this magical fairy tale that man meets woman and then they live happily ever after, well, that's the story that's told in Disney, right? That's not the story of that's not reality. Reality is people go through ups and downs. People connect in ways sometimes that it's not expected that they will come together, and then they really have to see their partner as a mirror. Right? Because they don't experience themselves like their partner experiences them, and their partner doesn't experience them like, they experience their partner, right? And so the reality of the situation is it takes listening and understanding and people really opening their minds to feedback that they're getting from, the person they're dealing with, they're dating. And, for the concept of this show, taking feedback from the experiences that we've had as men in relationships, because the bottom line is we're not all right all the time, right? And so we need to be able to check ourselves, and we need to be able to do some, some people call it shadow work, right?
Yeah.
To be able to strip the layers that we've built up from trauma that we may have dealt with in our lives. And that's very, very important. And I think that's going to be a good topic to talk about in the show.
Phree, what do you also feel about the dating culture right now in your own personal experience?
Yeah, I'm also single, and the dating culture is just kind of I'm over it. I'm over it because, like you said, it's no easy task what you're trying to accomplish here, and I feel like everybody is just walking in day one expecting you to act like their wife, act like your husband, and it doesn't work like that. I mean, I it's making me sick with some of these podcasts because it's like, well, you got to show, okay, yeah, but not on day one. Not on day one. I can't walk in your home acting like your wife on day one. Like, that's just, that doesn't make sense.
But let me push back a little bit. It's tryouts, right? Like, are you?
I feel like there is practice, but it's also, did we not just meet each other? Are we not getting to know each other? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a build up to that. So like, there's gonna, if I'm interested enough to sit down and figure out if we got enough chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like after a few, getting to know you moments, experiences, I see that, okay, we got this chemistry going on. Okay, well, let me step it up a notch. So then, as people say, applying pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I'm in the phase of I want to show you that this could be something. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not your wife until I'm your wife. You know what I mean?
The wife benefits.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not your wife till I'm your wife. There are wife-like things and wife-like moments I can have with you. But until we have made that commitment,
put a ring on it.
You know what I mean? Like, do you really expect someone that you just met to walk up in your home and start washing your dirty drawers? Like, is that an expectation? Is that a realistic expectation?
Do you have those expectations?
Not on day one.
What about
maybe on day two?
Definitely not on day one. It's going eventually.
I think people don't know how to date, right? People are just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, just trying things out and not actually learning from mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that prior to dating in general, is the understanding of self and what your needs are, and being able to communicate and fixing certain things that are habits that are not going to be helpful for a thriving relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of me work that has to happen prior to dating. And what happens is people don't think about the me work. Yeah. They think about the we work.
Or the you work.
And so because of that, there's no emphasis on internal work.
Yeah.
Prior to the dating, I'm lonely, and therefore to fill my loneliness, I need somebody. Well, nah, son, because internally, your loneliness might be really driven by certain things in you that you haven't worked on, that you need to work on. Otherwise, you're going to consistently learn the same lesson over and over and over again with different people.
Yeah.
And so do we ever take a step back, right? And say, well, let me look at all of my interactions with people as a story. Mm-hmm. What has happened in that story? What happened in the beginning? What was the climax? What was the end? Mm-hmm. Is there any similarities between those stories that I've had with people, right? And then you start to write more, like rewrite your chapters a little bit, because now you're going to be dealing with someone new and you're like, I remember this happened in my first situation. I want to approach it differently. Right. I want to have a different mentality. I want to have a different mindset or a different goal or approach it a different way. And do we do that, right? Or do we just end the relationship, learn nothing from it, and jump right back into attempting to, do another relationship. And so that's where I feel that psychologically we need to approve ourselves.
Probably why I'm a little jaded, because it's like I remember once upon a time walking into a man's life and being his wife without any discussions of what it is that we're going to do. So like I'm in this man's house cooking and cleaning and, try to show all these qualities of being someone that you should want to be with for the rest of your life. And it's just like, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like, but I was acting like your wife. I'm supposed to be your wife.
Yeah. Before you found out whether he really even wanted a wife, right?
Look.
So before you had the conversation of the expectations, setting the expectations in place, you were already fulfilling that role. You were already doing those things.
Right.
And so when it came down for you to poop or get out the pot,
right.
You found out that they did not want to.
Not necessarily.
Go to that level.
Like I can be with you, but I'm not the marrying type. Yeah. What do you mean?
But Phree, I think the challenge though, Phree, though, is that we take those situations and say that all men are like this, and then I deal with a woman who, may break my heart, and then I blame that woman's issue with me on all women.
Yeah.
And then it becomes men do this and women do that. The person that you did that for, that wasn't for, right?
Right.
The person that you did that for did not receive it because it wasn't for him. But who you are internally, I don't think necessarily should change when you do feel like you found that one, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the problems is we're so hurt behind some of the things that we've done for people in the past when we were vulnerable and nice and being loving and caring, and it felt like that did not manifest into the things that we wanted, right? Yes. Then we want to hold that like, that's the big joker. We're not going to play that early anymore, right?
Yeah.
We're going to wait to the end to play that. But then by that time, the unfortunate part is somebody's playing the game right along with you, and they're holding their big joker, and everybody is just waiting until the end in order to show their real hand, right? And the problem with that is just know who you're playing with.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think ultimately we got to take the time to get to know who we're playing with first, right? Before we make a decision on whether they're going to be a great spades partner or not. Right.
What I'm learning here, in this conversation, is that a lot of the stuff that you're doing for your own trauma, for your own self-awareness and improving your engagement with other people, that's relationships in general, right? Of course, we're talking about romantic, but it's just relationships overall, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's you work on these things individually, and then you bring it into your situation. And it seems like that is currently what I've been doing in my relationship. So you start outside your relationship before you're even in a relationship, and you continue to do that forever. I mean, as long as you want to be around other people, you're going to have, because my belief is that every person has some type of mental kink, something, some type of trauma they had to work through, some type of mental thing that maybe they protect or they guide.
Yeah.
There's a geist behind it.
Right.
But still, you have to work on that thing. You have to recognize it, be like, okay, when these are my triggers, these are things that get me to that level. I can work on speaking in this manner when engaging. And those are the type of things that a lot of us are working on.
Definitely.
What I want to know right now for you two are, what are some of your red flags when you're, let's say in that phase of when you first meet them, maybe you go on a date or two. I'll give you an example of one that I've heard was speaking rudely to the waiter. For some people, like we'll be nice, we'll be talking polite, but when the waiter come up, whole another personality.
Yeah.
So is that, like that? What kind of flags do y'all?
Yeah, that's definitely something that I do pay attention to, how you treat people. You know what I mean? That's I feel like the way you treat people is how you treat all people, regardless. You know what I mean? I just haven't gotten you there.
Yeah.
Yet.
Oh, so that could be in your future.
You know what I mean? Like, I just haven't gotten you there yet. You know what I mean? You want something from me right now, so you being nice. You know what I mean? Like, but red flag for me, like early on, is poor communication. Poor communication, and it's just
But let's be specific though. Is that like not texting back fast enough, or not communicating, articulating? Like,
just
what
yeah,
is that?
then like not communicating at all. Like, I don't care what it is. It makes me feel a certain type of way if like we've planned something and then like for whatever reason the plans have changed for you. Something came up. But then, like, I don't hear nothing till like 2, 3, 4 hours after the fact of when we were supposed to meet. You know what I mean? And I done text you, I done called you, I ain't got no response, and then here you are 3, 4, like, oh, my bad, something came up. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Since I've known you, there were like people playing with your time.
I don't, because like my time is so
I
precious.
can see that being a red flag.
You know what I mean? My time is so precious, and it's like, you don't even value my time enough to tell me that, hey, plans have changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a whole, like that little moment just reveals so much, like your lack of consideration. You know what I mean? Like how you really feel about me. Because if you're somebody that I like, I'm trying to like have a date with you, and I get it. I go through it all the time. Life happens. The kids, something came up. Hey, I know we supposed to be meeting in about an hour, but there's something going on with my kid right now. I gotta go check on them. And then like after that, can I hit you up? Okay. You ain't even gotta call me. You can text me. Hey, plans changed real quick. I'm gonna hit you back in a couple hours. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like
Courtesy.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're gonna handle me from here on out.
Absolutely.
It's mindfulness, right? Keeping you at the front of the mind.
It's just I'm just paying attention to how you're gonna handle me. So
that's your main red flag there.
Yeah.
Is that communication or lack thereof. What about you, sir?
Yeah, I have a lot of red flags that I look for, but
So let me pull out my Walgreens receipt list.
No, to Phree's point, I don't like ghost behavior, man. I'm not a ghostbuster. You know, I mean, I ain't chasing no ghosts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you are kind of not interested or not, just say that, right? Like, don't kind of play the game and the back and forth texts and I can't get in contact with you and I can then. And I'm not a fan of that because I value myself much greater than that. And I feel as though if I have to sell myself to you to not be in that behavioral space with me, I'm going to consistently have to do that for the rest of our time together, and I'm just not with it because I don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a little bit of ego with myself, right? And I can take that. I have a little swag about myself where I think pretty highly of myself, right?
Yeah.
And as
the brother's got a good job. I know he's got a good job. I know. I
do. But my mother and father raised me to have high self-esteem, confidence in myself, and I'm not going to force you to see that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't have time to force you or try to convince you to see that when I don't know what the prize is from that. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to get from that. Just your adoration. What does that get me? Right? And so I'm at the point in my life now where I kind of feel as though, you know what, I'm where I'm at for a reason. And anybody who does not see that or doesn't, take heed of that or do their research really is not worthy of my time. And therefore, that's a red flag for me. Right?
Yeah.
How you handle your finances is a red flag for me. Right? Now I have children, 7 and 5-year-old daughter. And so ultimately the things that I was looking for when I did not have children are different now when I do have children, because now I'm looking for role models for my girls, right?
Yeah.
And your brand is very important to me, on and offline, right? And how you present yourself and how you show up is something that I'm paying attention to. I'm not going to name any rappers, but you know who we're talking about when it comes to the different type of messages that are being sent out there in female rap nowadays, right? Yeah. I don't think that raises my daughters well.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't, right? And I try to shield them from that. So if that's your behavior, it's a red flag for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it might work for somebody. It doesn't work for me though, and that's fine. We'll be able to, find the people who are going to celebrate us. That's what we'll do, right?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, those are certain things. Your character really means a lot to me, and so that's important.
Can I make a request to the dating community? Can we not bash people because you're not what they prefer?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, and then you don't have to try to convince somebody to be something that you want either. They're just not that.
They're not that.
But
Look somewhere else.
There's this thing called dopamine, and people want that rush, so they're gonna open up their computers on their hands, and they're gonna say, "Hey,
Right.
I don't like it," when and then 50 other people go, "Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Yeah," and it snowballs, and then Phree jumps onto the feed like, "What's wrong with y'all?" Phree jumps on the post like, "Y'all got problems."
If you think she's bad, you need to.
I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow you.
Go ahead and add me as a friend.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not bad though.
ahead.
I don't think so. I think I just say
No,
I do thought-provoking, challenging mindsets,
He's like,
tongue in cheek.
he's he's Dr. Philin people.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And look,
Pushing back and
that's why I was like, I'm thinking about this event, like, who do I want on this panel? You know what I mean? And he was definitely one of the people because, like, he's like, there's yet anything he has said that I have disagreed with. Like, he's just straight facts. It's just straightforward. Like, if
Give us some time. It's coming.
yeah.
it's been 6-7 years,
This is true. This is true.
but I love him because he's straight to the point, and it's like, and what is your argument to what he said? And if you're trying to argue it, then like it's obviously you're what he's talking about.
Is it that the feelings aren't what's the word? Are you the type of person that is going to disregard their feelings when presenting the information, or are you just blunt?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bluntness with me, more so than it is a kind of I'm questioning your philosophy. I'm like this is a philosophical conversation. I love philosophy in general. I love to hear your side and hear your point.
Yeah.
But you gotta it's gotta make sense. Make it make sense, right?
Yeah.
I might present a topic and I'll make a joke about it. Like for example, one of my most recent posts was I have emotional trigger to the word "let" when it comes to relationships, which is in the sense that you allow your partner to do something. You allow them to play video games. You allow them to go out. You allow them to hang out with their boys. You allow them to go on guys trip. I'm a grown man. I pay my own bills, and that's not saying anything, right? Mm-hmm. Because everybody should be able to. But like letting someone do something, right? That I have a thing with that because it assumes control and it assumes possession, and it assumes that if you can control and possess me, you can abuse me. And if you can abuse me, it can be mentally, physically, or emotionally. And I'm not with any one of those at all. So when it's a subconscious thing, and some people don't really think about it until you say it, right? Yeah. But like just think about when it comes to your relationship. Are you in a relationship with a person, or do you think that that's your possession, right? Because there's two different things there, right? Like when you start getting emotionally upset that he wants to do something else with his time, or she wants to do something else with her time, and there's no conversation about it, just more of an expectation. Yeah. And then you start feeling like you need to do things to manipulate the situation so that they can err on your side or go and do what you want them to do, whether it be physically, emotionally, that sort of thing. Yeah, that becomes a problem, and that's abuse. And so a lot of people also are single because they're abusive.
Like emotionally, and verbally.
And you consistently don't learn that you are an abusive person, and you keep running into situations where you abuse your partner, and that partner is not having it, and they're out.
And those tend to be those women who be like, you can't handle me.
Well, yes. And let's just go there. The guys of feminism.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That you're going to join this group think that has a certain mentality about men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to, we can dive into that too, but here's the thing. A lot of people are fake feminists out there. Let's talk about it. If you were really a feminist, it has nothing to do with men. You don't need men at all. If I do 20 push-ups, you're doing 20 push-ups, right? My homeboy, shout out to Ken Brisbane. He has a podcast that's pretty popular. He talked about this. We were smoking cigars last night. We were talking about it. Feminists, they don't mesh with men at all. They don't feel that men are a part of their world. They don't need men for protection. They don't need men for finances. So when you start to play this feminist game, but yet you need a man or say you want a man, those two things don't work.
Yeah.
How are you so bold and so brazen about women empowerment and whatever the case may be, but yet you're trying to still need men for something?
Right.
X amount your life. Because here's my thing. Either you like men for who they are, right? Or you like certain characteristics of men, or you don't like men. Go date a woman. It's cool. It's accepted in 2023, and it's fine. Go do that. But if you love men, you may not like certain things that they do, but you still love a man for being a man as you know men.
Yeah.
Right? You're not trying to change him and to be a more effeminate man. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That extreme, yes. There's two extremes I see. Sorry, I'm going on my personal rant.
No.
I see a more effeminate thing emerging, or super thuggy, ultra gangster. It's two extremes. Like there's not a lot of in the middle type of, you know what I mean?
It's the crazy thing because it's like this whole concept of toxic masculinity, and you're telling the man he can't do this and he can't basically do the things that you know men to do. And so what's crazy about that is you want to kind of like take that fire away from him, take those things and strip him from that, but then you don't respect that, right?
Yeah.
Then when he's vulnerable, oh, he's a baby. Oh, he's too much of a crybaby. When he starts to express himself, oh, he's sassy.
Right.
That's the thing now, right? So now he can't express himself, right? And he also can't disagree with you.
Right.
Anything, because now you feel like, and that's the manipulation I'm talking about. That's the control I'm talking about.
Right.
You don't want to be in a relationship. You want to possess a man. You don't want a relationship. You want to own a man. You want to strip him from everything that makes him a man so that you can say, here's my possession.
Right.
This is my boo.
Right.
And here, everybody, I'm showing him off because I like to have the attention that I'm not single anymore, whatever the case may be. But what about his feelings and what he's going through? What about his emotional state? How are you helping his mental state? What are you doing to build that man up? No, you got a responsibility in a relationship, beloved, like you do. And you're going to hear that word a lot.
You know,
That beloved.
yeah. Yes, and responsibility in a relationship.
Yeah.
Responsibility in relation. We just talked about.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
And that is a key thing.
Yeah.
Because people have different understandings of what their role is or what they feel that they're destined to do. So when I chose my partner, I had to let her know, like, this is my destiny. I have to lead. I am a leader. If you can accept that, then this situation can work. If it's going to be a thing outside of that where you can't support it, then it won't work because that's not how I function. I think that has been distorted in social media, confused people.
Yeah.
They don't quite understand like when to lead or when to empower people in their gifts. Hey, you're not that good at finances. Let her handle the finances.
Right.
You know, go do some dishes, go clean. You can hold that down while she hold down that area. That's not a feminine thing to do.
Right. Look, we're in a different world now than, well, at least in America, that we have ever been, where financially women are in a position of power with work. Right now they're working, they're strong entrepreneurs, educated, make good money, sometimes making more money than their man, right? And so the distortion of the information is that money equals power in relationship, and because you make a certain money, now you can't tell me what to do because I make money, right? And so, whereas traditionalism was that the man was the breadwinner and, provided and pays all the bills, we're still hearing things now in 2023 where both parties work, but you still want him to be traditional. You're modern now.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a modern woman living in a modern world, and you're looking for traditionalism of patriarchy that benefits you.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to a new world that has both parties making money and a agreement that is between those partners of who does what in relationship. And it's going to be different for everybody, but it requires communication. As soon as you start thinking that this person's supposed to be traditional and you're living in this modern world where you're making money too, oh, well, yeah, now there's an argument because, oh, yeah, you can get out, right? Well, here's the thing. This is why I love having my own, because you're not going to kick me out of my own house, right? And so I think a lot of women are challenged by men who really, that they talk about they wanting the provider male and all that sort of thing. When you find him, right? He's going to require you to elevate, and then he's going to give you feedback. And so a lot of women tend to put themselves in position of dealing with men who are not that, so that they can remain the victim, right? So that they can say that, oh yeah, these men ain't whatever. Well, when you deal with a man who is, right? You don't have any experience in that, so you're speaking to the dudes that you've dealt with who don't got their stuff together. But when you deal with a man who does have his stuff together and he's stepping correctly, oh yeah, it turns up a little bit. It turns up a little bit. And so now there's some things that are expected of you that you were expecting of him. Can you accept that? Can you move forward in that? Right? Are you ready for that? Because mentally, sometimes you're still in competition and you don't feel where you can fit in his life because he got things all together. And that's deep.
I'm asking the question, do women have to accept that they have to compete for a man?
You're asking that at the event.
I think people, and I won't answer all here because I'm gonna save that. I think people really need to understand that there is a wide market of people out there that you can choose from, especially the men who have more options than other men because they are more sought after, whether that be aesthetically or they have their stuff together, whatever the case may be. The problem with the mentality of I shouldn't have to compete is that, well, why not? Right? I'm not saying that you got to be so open and throw yourself at a man, but you got to put yourself in his line of sight, though. He's not always going to be like looking in that direction. And so you got to put your best foot forward in order to be able to even be in his line of sight to be chosen. He's not knocking on your door, beloved. He's not going to be coming and finding you. You need to be where he is. And so you can't even get in the game until you step on the court. And so, yeah, competition is a part of life.
Yeah.
It's just in general.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that? Like, do you?
I was very much a woman who said I don't compete where I don't compare. However, I do know that as a single woman and looking for the type of man that I want to be with, yes, there are women in line for him. There are. So my motto is ain't nobody gonna be sweeter to my man than me. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody else gonna be better to you than me, babe. You know what I mean? So that's just the mentality, the approach that I take. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily like, oh, I'm competing with this woman. It's just the fact of like, I want to be the one that you're looking for. Like, you got all these other ones looking at you, but nah, when Phree come over, it's different. When I hug her, it's different. When I lay with her, it's different. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you're the one.
Yeah.
You'll be the one then.
Yeah.
That's that whole philosophy of like, should women shoot their shot, right? I hear that all the time. Oh, man, women that shouldn't have to shoot a shot. That's for men. If you're going to use a sports analogy, use it right. Let's start there, right? You don't have to shoot a shot. Throw the assist, right? Sometimes you need to be able to put the ball in his court so that he has an open look. because we don't know whether it's a bad shot or not, right? And what it takes, if you were to put yourself in a man's shoes and had to walk up to, because women don't like the rejection, right?
Yeah.
And so it has a lot to do with that. And I think part of it is like, yo, listen, set up the assist, right? Put yourself in a position where, you know, that man feels as though it's going to be successful if he decides to have a conversation with you. And you might, you know,
Quick question.
get a better feel from it. Yeah.
How many women have shot with you?
They don't.
Never had a woman shoot her shot with you?
Probably it's happened, but it happens infrequently, I'd say. I think I intimidate.
So the times that you were aware that they were shooting their shot, did you give them a chance?
Well, I mean, if I look at my relationships in the past or whatever, I've entertained some, but I think, you know, it's really about how they've approached me.
Okay.
Because so it's different. Online, there's different kind of personalities, different type of men. So I don't put anything out there that's provocative or like, you know, bunch of memes or anything like that. So it doesn't leave any room for you to have something to be an icebreaker for you unless you come at me intellectually, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the challenge for, I think, a bunch of women is like, yo, I got to come at him correct. How do I go about that?
Right.
And so, yeah, that's what it is. If I was probably memeing it up, and sometimes and that's part of, if you've seen some of my posts recently.
There's never been a man I shot my shot at and he didn't accept in my experience. And I think that that's more often the outcome. I think that's more often. So it's just like, you already in the game. Shoot your shot.
It's all in how you do it though. Like, right? Like there's a shot where you shoot, and, you know what I mean? You got finesse with it, and then you throwing the ball at the basket. You know what I mean? There's a difference between how you shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Like men don't want, you know.
Yeah.
You in a what's up, man? You know what that D do? Like, no, that's not shit. You know what I mean? That's not shit. That's not shooting your shot. Like,
that's not what's happening.
She said, "What did that dude do?" You know what I mean?
Like, why your voice so deep?
It's gotta be. It's an approach.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm buying you some chicken wings.
women own
Extra red.
women own sensuality. Women own like the seduction. Women own, and so there's certain things that you can do to catch a man's ire. You know what I mean? Like to get his attention. You know, whether it be like a smile, like a little, you know, wink or whatever the case may be, throw the assist.
Yeah.
You don't have to shoot the shot. Throw the assist.
Yeah.
That's the
because like us doing that same behavior kind of borderlines harassment.
And
You know what
so
I'm saying? So it's kind of
Fleek, that's a good point, right? Because think about what men, what is it? Sexual like harassment, right? What else? Be in the inbox talking to themselves, unwanted advances, Me Too, all these different things that are in men's head. Like, yo, if I'm too thirsty, like she could like screenshots.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, okay, so let's be honest here, right?
It's risky for y'all.
2020, we live in I'm just crying. We in 2023. I'm like, yo, what's up, beautiful? How you doing? I hope your day's going well. Screenshot. Look at this dude on the man box, all crazy with it. Look at him. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, I can't even say, right? And so I'm not even, and so to the same point is I don't really shoot a shot unless I feel like I have a clear basket, because I am not going to be in anybody's inbox talking to myself. Not me, not Fate. I won't be, because I value myself too much to have a conversation with myself in your inbox.
Yes.
Not doing it.
I'm just saying, after like the second or third good morning beautiful, let it go, G.
Right. No, listen, I know women who show me screenshots, right, of men trying to talk to them. And it's like, damn, man, like, well, he's just trying to approach. Yeah. And then you say, well, black men don't like black women. I'm like, but look at your inbox, beloved. Like, that's not true necessarily. It's just the ones that you want may not want you.
And that's
and so yeah, you might have to look at that, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. It's wild. Like, even my own girl's inbox, I'd be like, man, y'all know she married, and y'all still gonna shoot.
and all. It's a challenge at that
respect.
point. it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And it's
married?
Yeah. You got friends? You love to have friends?
You know what I mean? Oh, that's why I can't let you have no friends.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fleek.
So I appreciate y'all coming here, sharing this information, knowledge. Again, let people know when and where to go to the event. Let people know where they can find you, connect with you. If you got anything you want to promote right now, brand or anything, let people know about it. And I'm going to pass it over to you. Let's start with you, my brother, and then we'll go to Phree to close it out.
Sure.
I'm not anybody big yet or anything, nothing to follow on social media. If you already follow me, my name is Jermaine LaFate. Those know me already, know what my content is about and how I say beloved a lot. But yeah, Phree's going to tell you a little bit more about the event, but I'm looking forward to it. If you're coming to the event, what I will say to the women that are out there listening, and also to the men that are thinking about coming to the event, come with an open mind. Don't come with guns blazing, right? Because this is a conversation. I think that she has a panel of different personalities that balance out pretty well. There's not two of any type of personality that's on the panel. So just come with an open mind. Come in peace, right?
Yeah.
Don't come to try to rock the boat too much because we want to make an event that is bridges the gap, right?
Bridge the gap.
And builds those things together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sister Phree.
Dear Black men, why am I single? It's happening next month, October 29th at 6 p.m. at the office. Shout out to our sponsors, OBFC and the office. I appreciate them so much from helping me make this happen. And I'm just excited for the conversation. It's so funny because he's telling people like, come peacefully. And I'm telling people, we want all the smoke. You know what I mean? Like,
security.
I know my panel. They there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I need a number to bodyguard services. My 6'4" ass, like I need bodyguard because I don't know what she bringing.
But yes, I'm definitely asking for the ladies to come out and show up and come with your questions. You got something on your heart, on your mind. Come with the questions. We definitely gonna be interacting with the audience. Hopefully, the audience will be there and want to participate.
Yeah.
But yes, dear Black men, why am I single? October 29th.
Where can they get tickets?
The event is on Facebook right now. There's a link on there. If you need the link outside of Facebook, just DM me on either one of my pages, Free the Truth on Instagram or Facebook, and I will send you the link.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
For having us.
That is home. Yeah.